Yo, what is going on, everybody? We are super excited to be back with another episode of the Quigley podcast. This week, a little bit of a special episode, as we have one of College Halo's players in UIUC, and that is Milkshake. He comes in to talk about UIUC's plans for this season, their upsetting performance and placing within the qualifiers, as well as his thoughts on how the qualifiers played out with the new Swiss system that we played with, and also kind of some insights on what their team is really looking forward to, because they've set some high goals and now they're trying to reach these new goals that are having to set for themselves because of the D2 placement that they've received. We hope you guys enjoy the video as much as we did making it, and we hope you guys give all your love and support to Milkshake. It was really great to have him on. We were really appreciative that he was able to take some time to sit down with us. And so, as always, remember that you can catch us here every Saturday on YouTube, or the day before Friday on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. And then remember to check out our weekly prediction show, where we go over all of the matchups for College Halo every Monday night at 9 p.m. Eastern. And that will, of course, be uploaded here on YouTube the very next morning.
Quigley is part of the SuperPods network. You can find SuperPods on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Patreon, and Twitter at _SuperPods. You can also join our Discord at discord.gg/SuperPods. Thank you for your continued support, and happy listening.
What is going on, everybody? We are super excited to be back once again with another week of the Quigley podcast. This week, I'm once again joined by my co-host, Banksy Boy, but we've got a little something special going on this week. One of College Halo's very own, Milkshake. We're super excited to have him on and to hear about his own story within the College Halo scene, and just his approach coming into Halo and why he's chosen Halo over all the plentiful games that there are out there to compete in. Banksy, why don't you kind of take us away and introduce him?
I mean, I gotta try to one up you with that. I think since he's joined College Halo, the name has been a staple, especially with us and what we've said. We have coined the term Milkshake and Co. because he's the leader, he's the decision maker a lot of the time on the maps there. At least every time we're watching, and I'm excited to see what the school can do this season. I'm gonna pass it to you. Go ahead and introduce yourself. Give us a little insight to who Milkshake is.
Okay. Yeah. So my name's Miguel, aka Milkshake. I am an accounting major from Parkland College, which is our community college to transfer to UIUC. And I have been playing Halo for competitively since my sophomore year in high school in 2010. So pretty close to 15 years. Um, I really only got serious with competing in Halo 5, and yeah, that's me.
You know, most of our guests, either they are like the old heads, like for myself, for example, I competed in like Halo 3, like the Halo 2 era coming in like Xbox. Like I completed a lot back then when like locals were huge. But a lot of our guests come in and they've played like kind of took off in Halo 5 where they're like, it's a fun game. This is what I want to compete in. Was was it more like you were having fun with Halo 5, or you kind of aged into it where you're like, let me try this?
Well, it was more like I was just really trying. Like I dropped out of college at the time, and I really this was a really stupid idea. I really tried full-time streaming, and I had some success with that. And it was during Halo 5. I moved out of my parents' house, and I had my own apartment, and I mean, I had some success with viewership and winning some FFA tournaments at the time. It wasn't exactly what I wanted to do because I would have rather competed like in fours, and I did try to, but I couldn't really get anything going with that. But it was just what was the definitive Halo at the time. If it were up to me, I would have much preferred to compete in like Halo 3 or like No Bloom, No Sprint Reach.
Mhm.
So you know,
I actually love that. I know Ben
Yeah,
has no opinion
yeah,
in that nature. Ben's a young
yeah.
kid.
That is true. That is true. I started Halo 5 though. Like I played some Halo 4. Oof. I mean,
that is
I played a good bit of Halo 5, but I mean, I definitely didn't start competing until Halo Infinite. So you've definitely got me there on the years of competition. And I mean, what was the free for all? Because I don't think I've ever like actually delved into free for alls outside of Infinite. Like, what was that like competing in free for alls in Halo 5?
terrifying. I mean, I mean, at the time, I wouldn't say my mental health back then was the greatest. Um, but it was. I mean, it was a lot of fun, but it was also like really stressful because like you're taking games from Campy, everybody's favorite player at the time, and and he had his big community. I was generating viewership as well, but like I was kind of viewed as like the bad guy in a sense, where like everybody is rooting for me to lose. And when you end up playing against him all the time, and then you match up against him like multiple times in the finals of multiple FFA tournaments, and like everybody's just rooting for your downfall. I mean, it wasn't exactly good for my psyche per se, but it drove me to try to get better and better. And it's not just Campy. It would like I'd be playing against like Monster, Vetoed, Turley, Straight Sick. I mean, all these like super good players that like back then when I was like in high school, I never would have dreamed that I'd be even competing against. Because like back then, like I actually wanted to mention how I even got into this in the first place. I was living in I was playing Halo 3 Lone Wolves in my family friend's basement, and one day he just comes down to the basement and says, "Hey, you ever heard of Lunchbox and Roy? You ever heard of Team Instinct?" I was like, yeah, yeah, they're like the best team right now. Why?" It's like, "Well, my friend's boyfriend is Lunchbox. Would you like to meet the team?" And then I got to meet the team, and that's actually kind of how I got my start into competing in the first place. Back then, 15 years old, like I never thought I would have been playing at that echelon of the game. And I wasn't exactly used to it. So like it was definitely like looking back, I kind of needed it. And eventually I would win a couple online FFAs. Only got as far as sixth on land, but like um but yeah, no, it was. I would be lying if I said it was all fun and games. It definitely was an adventure, but it was pretty stressful. I'm not gonna lie.
I
Yeah,
can't
I
blame
can
you on that.
imagine.
Yeah, I can't blame you on that. I like way back when, like playing online with like any of the teams, Instinct, BTH. When you meet those guys online and you're playing, especially against like top talent all the time, or you're just meeting them and you either don't have the wherewithal or ability to put that as much effort as they do into it, there is a step back. And we've talked to it like as a team, like we don't have all the time in the world to tackle such a wall right now. Um, but I think with like effort and like you said, you end up winning some, which is awesome actually. Um, like beating that wall, and LAN itself is a different beast, but it is like nerve wracking to see certain names all the time, and they're the bigger names. And of course, the internet's going to be the internet. They're going to cheer on the bigger name, and then who's ever coming at him is obviously just that, the big bad wolf of it all. Um, and I think you named a couple names there. Who do we still see nowadays? Like Monster, sometimes, I guess. Not much
Yeah,
anymore.
not in the greatest light, unfortunately. Which is
Yeah.
I don't know. I know Vito sometimes plays, and sometimes streams. I'm not entirely sure what he is up to now. Campy, he's been gone for years. Nobody, to my knowledge, nobody really knows what happened. He just one day just stopped streaming,
Yeah.
and so like I don't even think like yeah, I was within his circle, and I don't know anything. Maybe Eli X might know, but
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure a million people have asked him at this point. People have been asking me what happened to Campy for like the past, like, you know, since 2017. So, I mean,
Yeah.
uh,
It was
Turley, I'm not sure what he's up to. And yeah, I mean, uh,
the
Yeah,
transition
I know
is
for a
crazy.
fact Vito still streams here and there
yeah,
because I remember year 1 or year 2 of Infinite, I actually played in a little draft tourney with Vito. So I mean,
yeah,
he was still shooting. He was still shooting. So
he's cracked on mouse and keyboard.
yeah,
Same,
he is.
same,
Yeah.
okay. Like,
Some people just don't lose that edge, I want to say. Um you might take a little bit getting into it. I mean, we can look at a lot of players like Ogre too, which I think he does mouse and keyboard now. Um, in ranked and infinite, does very well. Just mechanically knows the game. So there's probably a lot of people that have come and gone, and just you put them back in the game, and it's like a light switch. All they got to do is figure out, okay, how do I move? And then outside of that, it's what's on the map, and they get it, which I think is cool. Is that how you felt coming into Infinite? Like from five, I feel like five is kind of a different playstyle game, but going in from five to Infinite, do you feel like it was a light switch, or did you have a lot to learn coming from playing FFAs all the time?
I had a lot to learn, and it's not because of the FFAs. It was because I was playing on an Xbox,
Ooh,
and I did not realize how badly I was handicapping myself playing on an Xbox. I had a decent PC, I still do, but I had like a 1660 Ti, and at the time an i7 4770K, which is a fourth generation i7, and that on its own cannot run Infinite, not even at 120 frames, and it just crash all the time.
yeah,
When I was messing around though, and I tried playing on PC with the specs that I had, and I think I was like running 90 frames, and even then I felt like all of my shots were connecting, and I just had a much easier. The same people that I would struggle against, I'm just like throwing them in the garbage on this setup at the time, and so I worked a bunch of overtime to upgrade my processor and my motherboard and as much as I could. And now I have an i9 12900KF, and which is 12th generation i9, and like yeah, no, I'm never going back to console. So it was a matter of learning the hard way that being on Xbox is not a good idea, and I really shot myself in the foot for investing into that Series X instead of just trying to upgrade my PC. I wish I could go back in time and do that, but can't. And yeah, I mean, when it comes to like competing in a shooter, it's just to me, it's like all about mastering the game that's in front of me. So like, and it was kind of the same way with Halo 5. It was the same way with No Blue No Sprint Halo Reach. It was the same way with Halo 4 even. And just whatever, however it is that's in front of me, I got to figure out how to master it and the mechanics and learn the meta. So like it was a learning experience in that front, and the fact that it's a battle of input lag mitigation with these gaming PCs
yeah.
and being off console. But yeah,
I'm not gonna lie. I think, well, you can tell me how you feel about this. Obviously, if you go to LAN, for anybody that's listening when you're playing in the Passion Pit, you're on consoles. So everybody gets kind of the same treatment where they probably play PC at home. All Full Sail, we all played PC. I know, like, for example, like USF has somebody, Soap plays console for some reason. Um, but like coming from PC and going to console, I I don't necessarily feel like it's a bad thing, right? Because you might be trying to over predict maybe with that difference in like input, frame rate, everything. But I feel like you still have the edge from anybody who's always playing console. And I don't know if you feel the same way about that.
Mechanically, yes. Seating wise, no. Because I don't know a lot of people that had success playing console that got into like pool play by playing online on their own PCs. Or hell, they probably even cheated to get there, you know.
Right.
But actually, me coming from online to LAN when I played at Raleigh, that was actually an upgrade for me because I was also playing on 60 FPS when I was
Oh,
playing at home. And then I moved on up to 120, and I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. Why am I not playing on 120?
right.
And that was also when I didn't realize that the higher your frame rate, the better your input lag as well. So like, yeah, for me, like how I'm see it, is like when you play online, you should play on the best setup that you have, and then going to LAN, you're gonna have to make that adjustment to play on console. But at the end of the day, if you're in the Passion Pit, every everybody you're playing against are on the same playing field. So like, there's no internet latency to think, no Texas fiber, no geography to factor in, no um, garbage GPUs to worry about. Like everybody's on the same playing field, unless you're like on for some reason a Series X that runs worse than all the others, which is entirely possible, but very unlikely. So I would still say, like, yeah, if you could practice on Xbox, but compete on PC, if you can make that happen, that's probably your best bet. If you're like, not in the pool play level.
So Ben, you've heard it. How well are you going to do at Charlotte?
I feel like I'll do okay. Like, I mean, I I think the transition is gonna be weird for me because isn't the reticle different? Like, isn't your literal reticle different on or something? Something's like different. You can't change. One of our old, I don't know what it was, bro. Well, one of our old teammates used to always play on Xbox, and then he would like complain because we'd be like, go to the facility and play on a computer. And he'd go and he'd be like, "Oh, it doesn't look the same." And we'd be like, "Yeah, because it's better. Trust me, it's better." And he would, I can't with that guy. I don't,
Oh, you're talking about
I don't know what his I can't remember what his argument was.
it's the crosshair is different on console. It's the circle in the middle is smaller on console than it is
You
on
know,
PC.
I don't know.
That's what it is.
Okay.
Yeah, that is true. I don't know how much that helps though. I can't say how much that helps. And we do have two guys on our team that plays on Xbox. Because that's all we have. I can explain that later, but I mean, it's still. I mean, when going from like Xbox to PC, and not all PCs are going to feel the same.
Right.
Not all Xboxes are going to feel the same. I don't even think either. There's probably going to be a slight difference in feel with your like sense and settings going from one Xbox to the other. With our two Xboxes, which are side by side, we have one that's pulling like 7 ping and the other's pulling like 9 for some reason, which doesn't make sense. They're on the same network.
Right.
So
I 100% agree with that. To kind of slide with, I've heard you bring up meta a lot, right? You adjusting to the meta, what's going on in the game. Now, for us, I feel like it's been a little different. We have the GA King himself, Lucid, in the meta, so he likes to just make sure we can't play with anything. But let's talk about the change from BR to Bandit. Would you like to go back to BR, or is Bandit 100% the way to go for the future of Infinite?
I think the Bandit meta is probably the best incarnation of Halo Infinite we have. because especially for online, because I mean, we don't have the desync as badly as we used to do,
Yeah.
but like desync battle rifles online, are you kidding? Like, not all 3 of your 3-round bursts are going to land, even if you don't miss your shots. So like one of those 3 bullets are going to be blank if you don't have good enough internet. So like, at least with the bandit, it's all or nothing. So as far if we're talking online, I think bandit plays a lot better, and a good chunk of HCS is online. So
Yeah.
if everything was on, if we lived in a perfect world and we had like LAN for everybody, like all of the time ever, and all the qualifiers were on LAN, then probably BR start might be worth playing. In terms of feel and how they play, where both the bandit and the battle rifle has the same exact kill time, I think this is as good as it gets.
I can see that. I can see that. Like me personally, I miss the BR because of I think it's a nostalgia feeling for me. Like playing in like Halo 3 back in the day. Um which Halo 3 BR was just iconic in itself.
Mm.
But I was so excited when Halo Infinite came out and they were like, "Oh, we're doing BR starts." Everybody was for it. And then we get a sandbox change where they add the bandit in as a wall weapon without the Evo sight. And then you start the pot starts spinning where everybody's picking up the bandit and using it over the BR. I do like the change, but I do miss the BR. Ben, did you experience like competitively the BR or no?
I mean, like not competitively, really. I mean, in some of those side tournaments and things, I was playing in like year 1, year 2. But I mean, I'm thinking like what year 1, I just played ranked. I didn't really like do anything, and then year 2 was when I started to play like the side tournaments or like hitting free for alls and things.
Okay.
I think after year 2, I think after year 2, I ended up like taking a big break because that was whenever I was just doing nothing but playing COD, and then I came back, and that was when I started playing with you guys, of course. So I mean, then it's just been banded. So honestly, in 4s, probably not. No, I never really experienced banded to the extent of what you guys did.
Okay. Okay. I'm with you there. Um, but to kind of slide for you, Milkshake, um, how much of your school's Halo history do you know, or do you really only know where you started?
Um, I got bits and pieces from Renru, and and I know that we had a halfway decent Halo team. And you know, I was told bits and pieces from like Lucky, Renru, Outer Hyperion, Jaybird, but it just I knew that we had a team, and you know, and the whole reason this actually came back was because like this is actually my extracurricular to help me transfer to Geeks College of Business at UIUC. So like, yes, it's kind of hilarious that Halo's kind of helping me with my transfer. But it was I had to kind of gather some backstory of the IE Halo of the past, um, kind of so that I can figure out my strategy of putting back together a line I Halo, and and all that, because everything that I did like was an amateur effort at best, because you know I was also just coming back to school as well. It was like only my second semester back to school ever since I was you know not in college, you know, and working full time.
That was me. I had previously dropped out of college, had a child, so it was like time like flew like just kind of flew by. So I like college became that backseat. So I apply, go to start going to Full Sail. I had actually kind of the same thing for Ben. I tried out for the COD team. Well, I had asked to try out for COD and Halo at the same time. And then our school has weird rules where they take and pick teams off and on. And the Halo team, quote unquote, disappeared during Sea Halo's off season. I try out for the COD team. I almost make it. And then randomly they make a post like, oh, the Halo team's back. So I sign up, and our manager here at Full Sail was like, I want to see how good he is. We're not going to put him on the COD team. We're going to wait. And it's like, I tried out, got the team, and they're like, all right, we're going to bring Full Sail back into college Halo. And it was like, what, like, I was like 4 months into college at that point, because our school has like a rule about 4 months. And that season was nothing like we have today. It was SLU at that point. I don't think Connor had any hands in the pot at that point yet, from my knowledge, but it was just SLU, and like Dog Bear. And we did like a weird division setup where there wasn't like Division 1 and 2, but everything kind of still stand at that time. UNG and Fisher still reigned supreme. And then my second season is when we started to get these actual divisions. And I think my first season, I was technically D2, and then the past two have been D1 with like qualifiers or relegations that it's always been, or that it's moved around and been. But coming back, we've always talked about you guys because you guys are a really good talking point in the league. You have very good games. You guys got second your first season, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So second. So it was like, when we look at that, those teams coming into their year, like even now we're looking at those teams in D2 that are new. Or like, for example, Naz being in D1, we're like, okay, can he do anything? We had those conversations last season. You guys get second. And it's like, hell yeah. Like, this team showed up in College Halo and did something, which was awesome. That first season, how did you feel going into it? And was it a good stepping stone for you moving forward?
For us, I'm gonna talk collectively here.
Mhm.
Because we actually were really upset about getting second, especially with how we were doing, like, you know, throughout the whole playoff. You know, when USM ended up getting Solaire again, and the biggest punch in the gut though was more like, but it was also a learning experience for us. Was that as a team we were exhausted. I mean,
Oh
it was
yeah,
like midnight on a school night. Like, Zaf is like, he had exams that day. Outer Hyperion, he had like a mountain of homework. Howie is just a nuclear engineering student, so God only knows what he's doing. And you know, I can play long hours. I can do that. I'm used to that. But these guys, like they were, we were just exhausted. And I'm not trying to, I honestly believe if we play on a weekend against USM, we probably would have been able to, at least, like, maybe they could reset the bracket against us, but eventually we probably would have been able to beat them, and we're never going to get that opportunity again. And yeah, we're and don't even get me started with the fact we're D2 again. And I'm sure we'll talk about that, but so I suppose we'll have enough, but we didn't want that. We wanted to be Division 1. We wanted
right.
to improve ourselves to be where we could give Fisher for a run for their money. I know that sounds silly, but, and with how good Fisher is, but that that's just the way that I am as a player, and the way we were, that we wanted to build ourselves up where we would be contending with them. And I know that's hard to do with two new players on our team, but as a program, that was our goal, and that, it's not going to happen now. But so it was not. I mean, yeah, it sure we did, we got second, sure, but like, and I'm sure that's great for a lot, but for us, it was just. And for me especially, yeah, that was not enough. I mean, you're just telling me that I'm the second best
Right.
or something, and I don't. that's not what I want. And especially, I'm not going to get another. This is my last semester playing, by the way, and my last season competing ever. Like after this, I'm done competing with competitive Halo. At that point, I would be transferring to Geeks College of Business, and I would have to focus on that. So I'm not going to get another opportunity to play, and I want to at least have our Halo team still exist when I'm gone, and um, still being in D2 is not the way to do it, in my opinion. And so, yeah.
I actually look.
I respect that a lot. Out of the idea of just having that goal that you guys are setting for yourselves as a program, and it's not just like a personal thing where you guys as a team came into this and you wanted to improve, right? And like that's, I mean, and that's the goal for any team at the end of the day. But I can tell that you guys, while you are still in D2 and you're saying that this is your last season, there's still that idea that there's the goal of like getting this team to be able to continue even once you're gone, leaving that legacy of like, this was our team, leaving something behind for the next team to kind of come into. Moving forward, because you are in D2, is that and I know, maybe not the new goal, because of course the goal is to hopefully be D1 next year, but is your mind 100% set now on, that you guys are taking that D2 championship home? Because I feel like, at least from our point of view, in every prediction show that we've said so far, we've been like, you guys are the clear cut. So far, we see that you guys are winning Division 2 this year.
So, I mean, we were pretty certain with the roster that we had, we would be D1, and we would and we had our scrims with like SNU and whatever, and we actually beat them in scrims, and right before the qualifier, um, and and all that. Um, and then I have my gripes about how the tiebreaker with like RIT Orange and us, and they had the same exact record as we did, which is annoying. And then they get D1 and we don't, because seeding, I guess. I'm not entirely sure. That aside, I've already done us a huge disservice by not taking us to Division 1. So if we didn't win Division 2, I don't know if I could look myself in the mirror as a Halo player and as a competitor. So the very least that I could do, and the very least we can do, if we're as good as we think that we are, that we need to win D2 at least. And then, because that way we can at least prove to the rest of the league that we don't deserve to be in D2. We belong in Division 1. And we can't do that if we get second place again. And if we got second place again and then I'm retired, I don't know what I'd do. I don't know if I could look at myself in the mirror.
I actually feel that I had I mean, us being where we are in D1, we're obviously on that teetering of like, we could beat certain teams, we can lose certain teams. We always wanted to, every time we go up against Fisher, we've always wanted to compete, right? We don't want to just lay down and take it. We want to compete in that moment. But one thing is, like, I've always been like, there are certain teams that are clean cut. I know brackets can go which way they are. And it's always been hard on us. And I've always said it. I mean, the fact that I'm back again for a season I didn't think we'd be here for, actually stands a lot, because we ended last season. We were like, before the playoffs thing where everybody played, we ended it like that was it, because it was such a defeat to us that we couldn't get to the spot we knew we deserved, or didn't. I'm not gonna say deserve, but knew we could be in. I was destroyed as a captain, being like, did I actually do anything? Did we improve? So I know exactly like the feeling of like, you have a goal in mind, and if you fall short or don't make it, it is very like devastating. I think you guys are a very good team, and Ben said it. We have you guys at number one. Um, if you've heard any of it, well, I know you were just there for like the prediction show. With the like our top three for you guys is like UCF, OU. And I think there's such a far margin between those teams. And you guys show up on game days. where I think you guys trump UCF, and I hope we get you guys on land. I know it's always a thing where that finals is, will it be online or on land, since they just did the D1s, but I hope you guys get to the finals, and if Connor's able to do something this season, who knows? And we get you guys on land, that would be awesome to see. But I definitely think you guys can do it. Um, and the qualifiers was crazy. We had you guys in our top 10. I don't know if you saw that. Who did we not have? I don't. Was it SNU? We didn't have.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think SNU had a worse record than we did in the Swiss bracket, and they made it.
Did they?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they lost a game to Clemson.
Like, my God, you might be. Well, I think he's right on that one, because I think when that happened, I looked at Ben and I said, "You were right. Clemson's back." Because
And we still didn't make it. So I mean, the math doesn't make sense.
I know
I
one
mean, it's
thing
too
in
late
it.
now, but
Yeah, I know one thing in it was us being idiots and losing to UCF really ruined that bracket. I blame Ben
we
personally.
shouldn't even played each other. You guys were 1-2, and we were 2-1.
Yeah, the bracket did get a little weird when we lost to UCF. That was
It was, yeah, it was that mixy there at the end where you had the FFs from Montana State and USU had to leave for the night, and then we lost to UCF, which I think it should have been. It probably would have. You guys didn't play UCF, right? Or did you?
No,
I,
we
I
didn't.
think that's what it was gonna be.
We played Utah, we played UVU Green, we played you guys, and then we played round one we played Baylor.
Uh,
We played Baylor, and then we played Utah, and then we played UVU Green, and then we played you guys, and then we were done.
okay.
And then we didn't make it, even though RIT Orange performed the exact same way, and SNU actually technically performed worse. But
Did you guys
and it was
actually?
something about like their bracket was harder, but it's like that doesn't make sense to us either because we lost to the team that won the whole thing.
That is true. That win actually blew my mind. I didn't see that coming. Did you guys actually play Baylor? Like physically play?
Yes, and it took ages for them to set up the game. I mean, they were using Discord on like browsers or something, and they were having like a humongous amount of like technical problems. They were playing on like their gaming PCs there or something, and you know, I think it was their first rodeo too. It must have been. I don't know because I mean, we waited way longer than we probably should have, but you know, we ended up playing them, and then we duoed them. But yeah, I mean, it's clearly their first season competing, so I mean,
Because we haven't. I don't think, for at least me and Ben, we haven't got to see. I don't think you guys. I mean, you were streaming during the event, right?
yeah,
We tried to like watch, but obviously like playing and watching gets difficult. We didn't
yeah,
actually
no,
get to see Baylor. That's one of those hard teams for us to like actually
um,
predict or anything.
it was King of the Hill Lattice. It was 4-0 in our favor, and then Slayer, I believe it was 50-10,
50-10.
something like that. I don't
Oh
remember.
my God. Um, I'm gonna ask this question before we move to sliding through the season. Lattice, like it, hate it, mixed feelings.
We love it.
See, Ben, told you people liked it.
hey.
If you know how to block the spawns on it, and the fact that it's just such a small map, it's great. It's great for players like me that that like to think they have a strong bandit. So like, um,
Oh, you got a
I
strong
mean,
bandit, friend.
and um, I mean the small maps, and as long as you're like, as long as you practice it enough and you understand like the big spawns to block and you're just listening to your teammates, you're gonna do well on that map. I mean, and then like oddball, like oddball, you can hold it like red or blue. Make sure you just block green, and I could go on about it, but no, we like Lattice.
That's what I like to hear because I want to see more Lattice. Um, So I'd love to see that. We're definitely going to try to watch you guys on streaming and we can get your guys' matches. That's my next question though. You guys haven't played OU yet, right? Your week 1 matchup?
Yeah, we haven't. That's right.
Is it planned? Is it gonna happen?
Oh, it's gonna happen. Yeah. We're playing tomorrow at 7:30
7:30. Okay, so
Central.
for Friday listeners, that's Wednesday. So the 30th. So that's it. Okay, so we have a lot of matches then tomorrow. So is our matches tomorrow too?
Tomorrow's Tuesday.
Oh, tomorrow's Tuesday. My bad.
Tomorrow's Tuesday.
Sorry, it's late, guys.
But yeah, there are going to be a lot.
It's almost Tuesday now. I mean, like,
that is,
you guys.
That's true.
He's got a point.
That's actually so that's exciting. So there's a lot of matches because we didn't get to see a lot of, like, obviously 3 teams this past week for Division 1 got to play 3-0 sweeps for all of them, so it wasn't too exciting. But then, like, we looked at the D2 teams to, trying to give some love, and one team forfeits and Kaiser loses a map to Clemson. So we were trying to hopefully can give you guys more love. We are tweeting out each one too, so I would love to see that match.
I would have much preferred to have 9 competitive matches and to maybe have a good match with Oklahoma and UCF, and then that's it. Like, it's another reason why we're not happy to be where we are, especially since the math once again does not add up.
Yeah.
I mean, but no, I'm looking at the thing and like seeing like schools like forfeit. It like, well, there's only been the one, but I'm thinking to myself, it's like, is this going to be a common theme? Are we going to have to deal with this? 'Cause that's not going to, like, it really just continues to twist a knife for us.
Yeah, I hope not.
I hope not too. I would like to, because like I would prefer all of our matches to not just be 3-0 clean sweeps every single week and then go into playoffs and then D2 national champs. Oh, then
give you some.
like I want to play against York. I want to play against like USM. I want to be like competing against like the big dogs, And there's like maybe 2 others in this division, and like that's gonna be like my 2 whole weeks of on Halo, and then like please, I hope that I'm proven wrong, and maybe like Kaiser kicks our ass or something. Like,
Right.
I mean, I prefer not to lose,
Yeah.
of course, but like, or maybe Clemson. I mean, we've played Clemson before in playoffs, and we didn't, we had an all right time playing against them, but like, it's just like I would prefer all of our matches to be competitive, at least, like I heard you guys saying, like, the 3-2s. I don't want 3-2s, but I would like to have our backs against the wall.
Yeah. That
like,
feeling is just nothing else than a 3-0.
Because like last semester, like when it came, like, because York, that was the school that probably pushed us over the edge. NASCAST, because that was when we still had Noisy Koi.
Yeah.
And so we play York, and we had a super close CTF on Forbidden, right? Could have gone either way. It was like a G slide away for us, essentially. And I think we were even up in the last minute 2-1 over York. And then I don't know who was running it. I think it was Naz, and he caps it to tie it, and then they win in overtime. They're like, all right, go next. We beat them in Slayer, so it's a series, right?
Yeah.
And then I'll spare you the details. We got our asses kicked for the rest of the series, and then we had a roster change without Eder Hyperion. We went to the lab after that because we knew that if we wanted to win D2, we were going to be 3rd seed, because Southern Miss is going to have 2nd seed, and we knew where we were going to have to win and show up, and it was that winners finals in playoffs that was our most pivotal match for us. And it's like, all right, NASCAS is going to go in thinking, it's like, we beat them before, we can do it again. And we we would watch like NASCAR's rebroadcast and pick up on everybody's player habits. And I actually figured out it's not really NASCAR that I should be worried about. It's more Gooba than anything because like I know you're laughing,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
Gooba was grinding.
yeah,
I'm a big fan of Gooba. He's always an eights. He had a great attitude, you know, and so I was more afraid of him than I was NASCAR.
yeah,
And not to take away from NASCAR, he's great and all, but like when when you have a player that's like a new fourth that has that much drive, that's terrifying.
yeah,
And so it was like going into playoff season, we just really like challenge ourselves like, how are we going to beat this team? You know, like and you know, eventually we would ultimately beat them in winners finals, and that was a lot of dopamine, by the way. You talking about dope earlier? That was some dope
yeah.
for us.
I casted that game and it was dope for me, and I wasn't even playing. So I mean, like,
I wish I could go back and watch it, like, cause I didn't get to watch like the casting or anything. I don't know if it's around somewhere. If it's not, that's fine, whatever. But
I know.
that's
on
that's what
College
I
Halo Twitter.
want. Like
Yeah.
that, you know, like obviously I want to win. But that's kind of what I want for my last semester of playing.
Yeah.
You know, like that kind of rivalry, you know.
Yeah.
And I don't know if we're gonna get that. And shit, you know,
I agree with
Yeah.
that. I think there's only one, like right now, right? If these teams can at least, like, if Leo on Kaiser can get his team up to snuff, he might give you a little bit of a headache. I don't see you losing to him. No offense to Leo, but I just don't. I just can't see what you've done and how you play and how you can command a roster and get a roster from A to B. I don't see Kaiser beating you guys. Maybe a headache, right? Like some kind of, you know, competition. But really the only team I see competing is UCF, which is a new school, right? We have a new school coming in. They we'll call it beef, but we do love the UCF guys, messing with them. But they called us Scrim Warriors when they beat us.
what is that? What's scrim
Because we beat him, we beat him in a scrim, and it was pretty rough. And then we rolled against them in a regular game, so they were trying to say that we can only win scrims.
Yeah,
How about you just win both?
right. We tried.
We probably should have.
I've never heard that before. Scrim Warriors, that's a thing? It's like they are only good in scrims?
I was when it happened, I was like, what? But like
never heard that
which, to be fair, we might
trolled.
be scrim warriors.
We'll see what happens when we play against SNU, because if it's true and SNU gives us a run for our money, we're scrim warriors.
SNU's good. One-Eyed Willie's good. His I think that's his Oak Assassin, his brother.
Yeah.
Are they brothers?
I think so.
They're both very, very good. So definitely look out for them. I think they're beatable. We beat them, but it wasn't. You know, it was actually pretty. We were playing like a best of 7.
Yeah.
It went to 4-2, but every game was super close. Every single one. We actually like even the Slayers, and we like to think we're really, really good at Slayer. Every Slayer, I think there was only one blowout. It was like Live Fire where we won 50-36, but the other 2 Slayers were 50-49.
Yeah, we played them.
They're pretty good.
A few nights ago in a scrim. We won the scrim. Am I right? Would that have been? We were up.
It was either it was a best 5 and it went 3-2 or 2-3. I don't remember.
I can't remember what happened. They're a good team. I'm pretty sure we were up on them on the scrim, but I could be wrong. They can prove me wrong later. But
they're hit. What is it? Chiefs. He was hitting me up for scrims again, which makes me feel good that they still want to play against us. But it's just our schedules are not currently lining up right now, and it's just tragic because like they're absolutely great players to play against. We went from bullying that school to where they're like, oh my god, they're like they huge ass upgrade with those
Yeah,
two.
yeah,
You know,
Yeah,
100%.
they improved a
I
lot.
think they compete. I think.
They might.
Am I?
I think you're right. I think you are right because I think when I Willie brought it up in Aids one night, um, which Super calls him Dick because it's just funny. He's a one-eyed Willie.
Yeah.
But they're a good team. It's just that's one of the teams where it's that teetering edge in the D1 territory where it's like you got to show up. If you don't, you either fall flat or you like we were the team that always gave 3-2s, which I hated. I mean, like you said, you don't want to go that far, but you do want to have that competition. And we were the team that always gave the 3-2s, except to the top like 4 teams, which at the time would have been like Fisher, UNG, UVU, and USU Blue with thoughtful face. So it's like I hated going game 5s, even though we lost them, but it did make the season like there was effort. It was enjoyable, more enjoyable than either slamming, vice versa. Have you guys scrimped UCF yet or no?
No, and we're not going to until after we play against them
Okay.
because here's the thing, like um if we I mean yeah, I feel like we're in a good spot to win D2, but if we're talking about this the schools that threaten us, obviously it's UCF. Oklahoma, I know their low seed does not reflect how good they are. I'm keenly aware that they weren't able to play in the qualifiers, and they're way better than what their seed says that they are. Kaiser, I'm keeping my eye on Kaiser. You guys are talking about Leon a lot. I know that you're trashing on him, but like he must be a halfway decent player. So Kaiser and Clemson did take a game from SNU, so Clemson, sure, but we beat them in playoffs fairly easily. But I mean, going back to UCF, like scrimming them. The reason I don't want to play against them is because they're our main competition, and I don't want to give them that practice. And I
Respectable.
don't want them to pick. I don't want them to get VODs of us and use it against us.
Right.
You
That's
know.
respectable.
So like I'm more inclined to scrim against like SNU or York or you guys or you know that the people that um or actually we're even more inclined to like we actually played against like a pickup team last like a friend of mine's pickup team that was like a high, like in Onyx level. um so I'm not sure like what level they were exactly. I know that their average rank was higher than most of the schools. Um, like at least higher than SNU at least.
Right.
And I was thinking to myself like, all right, all of these guys are good. I don't see us winning this. And then we beat them 5-2.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, maybe we're doing a lot better than we think we are. Um, But no, like back to UCF, I don't want to play them until at least after we've had our regular season match, because then that would make more sense.
Yeah.
Until then, I feel like it's best for us to either scrim like some of the D1 schools, or like an HCS team, like an AM team, even if we got complete our shit kicked in,
Hmm.
you know, that's better than giving UCF our player habits and our VODs essentially, and then they can do their homework and figure out how to beat us. Like I still want to play our cards close to our chest a little bit, even if we're in a pretty good spot in the league. Because like I said, if we didn't ended up not winning D2, I don't know if I could look myself in the mirror, but like I'm still gonna give it everything I got.
Yeah.
And I expect them to do the same. And if we give them that practice, they're absolutely going to take advantage of that. So, no, we're not going to scrim them. Not yet.
Well, you're lucky you have them early on. Well, if scheduling, well, I'll say if scheduling, because obviously everybody's experiencing the difficulty right now, especially since this month we have Charlotte this coming week, this weekend. We have Worlds at the end of the month. So the month's a little difficult when it comes to scheduling. I imagine it's going to be difficult for some schools, but you have them round 4,
Yeah.
and you both have like leading up to it. At least round 3 is Kaiser versus UCF, so you can see a little taste before it happens. I don't think UCF really gets practice up into you guys personally. Outside of whoever they may be scrimming, I know for us, we scrim them before qualifiers, but we get so many messages now. I don't know if UCF will fit our schedule anymore. I know right now, like everybody wants like early in the week, but which is making it harder. I imagine that's for a lot of people. But I think you have the better lineup going into, for one, having OU, right? Like you guys actually get to compete against somebody. They don't really have a school up until Kaiser, which is their week 3. And we talk about Leo a lot. Leo's our old captain who transferred, or he didn't transfer to Kaiser. He graduated here. He's going for his master's and it completely blindsided us. That he was going to be playing Halo again. Leo's just got to get his team straight. Leo is a good player. Leo consistently gets like 1,700 Onyx every reset. But obviously, like school is important. So I think Leo could be better, consistently better. It's just his team, right? If you shut him down right now, Kaiser's a wash. But you just got to kind of have to watch what he's doing on the map. It's kind of like playing against Severity or those teams who have that one Onyx player that just causes so much turmoil across the map. So I think you have a good lineup to UCF. So I can't wait for the week 4, personally.
I mean, frankly, like at the end of the day, though, I don't really care who we play against, because or who our match is going to be at the end of the day, because as long as we play our best, we should win.
Yes.
And if we don't win, we didn't play our best, and we're just going to have to do better next time. Say like UCF does end up beating us in and they take like first seed. I mean, there's still plenty of season left, and then it's just could be a repeat of York all over again. They beat us regular season, we beat them in playoffs.
Right.
So
It's going to be exciting to see like those sort of matches. We have loved your growth. I know Super does what Super does when it comes to College Halo. He loves the storylines to be driven, and you are such a main story now, no matter what it is, right? Super just picks a name out of a hat and says it's time to fight. That's all the man does. He's such a grandpa. But
Literally.
he's such an old man. And that's what he picked a name out of the hat is what he did. But I wish we got a best of 5. If you guys ever do want to scrim, feel free to message me and Ben. If we can find a day that works, we're gonna.
this week's not good for me because after we play Oklahoma, I'm actually going to be taking a break from Halo so I can get caught up in my own schoolwork. But like it would have to be like I don't know, maybe before we play against UIUC Green, something. No, absolutely, I'd be down for that.
Yeah,
It's not this week.
Yeah, this week's
No.
so rough. We we did today, and then we slammed tomorrow with a bunch of stuff. My bad, Ben. And then we all leave like everybody. I know a lot of people in College Halo are going, and like me and Ben, we live so close to Charlotte. Like we leave I leave Thursday. Ben, are you going Thursday?
Yeah, I'm going Thursday.
Okay. Like we leave Thursday to go to Charlotte, and then at Charlotte, I have a bunch of stuff to do for like our social media here. Try to get some love for College Halo. Ben's playing in the Open. I'm playing in the
Who
free
else's
for
social
all.
media are you doing?
We're not going to out that on here until I'm announced on Twitter. Um, It'll be announced, just not here. But we're doing a lot, and we're trying to give as much love to everybody as possible.
Mhm.
I'm excited for your season. I'm with you. I know I didn't want you. I wanted you in D1. I'd trade spots with you if it was possible. Because I think you would it would be a fun match just to see your guys at school in D1. I'm excited for you guys in D2 though, like as well. Like I personally want to see you guys win the chip. Um, but I do also I want that competition. Like you said, you don't want a freebie. Like you need some pushback or like what's the chip for, you know? Um, that in itself is exciting. Last question I'll give you in this. Your seasons, like with everybody you've met, is there a rivalry you say that you personally have in College Halo, or are you like you're an open book? Everybody's on the docket. We go in and we fight, or do you have that rivalry like how we have? Technically, we have like USF and YCP are a big rivalry because of Soap versus Naz. It's such a online and in person challenge that when you have those schools, or like us versus UNA is a big rivalry because we put on a show when we play against each other. Do you have a team that you see yourself in the league right now, or
Well, before the qualifier, it was actually you guys for obvious reasons, but um, now, I mean, the most obvious answer would be us in York, but we're not going to get that anymore, unfortunately. But I mean, other than that, I'll go back to my original answer. I don't really care who we play against, and as long as we play our best, we'll win. And that's all there is to it. So I guess it's just open docket for us at this point. Obviously, we're going to pay attention to Oklahoma, UCF, and Kaiser and Clemson, but I mean, yeah.
overall? I think you got it in the bag. We're gonna try to watch all your games. Um,
Thank you.
as much as I know we sneak in there. So if you we never type, I can tell you one of your viewers are usually somebody on the Quigley team. Let it be me,
Hmm.
Ben, or Super. We do always try to sneak in, see what's going on.
Hmm.
I love the effort you guys put in there. Would love to see that more. If anybody's listening, would love to see that more out of college Halo teams. I mean, you guys were putting effort in day one with your coaches, with the when you were doing tryouts. You guys were putting the effort in and trying to find the right matches at the right time. Love seeing that. And definitely in college esports, it's just difficult because people graduate, people move on. So,
Yeah, losing Outer Hyperion really, really sucked
yeah,
because
I
they
know.
graduated.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was definitely the seeing like your
But
tryouts,
we
you guys
really
are doing
lucked
it.
out with Goodsy at least. But you know,
Yeah, I'm excited. And just I'm gonna say keep up the work you guys are doing. I'm gonna be honest. We loved our match. I hated it was 3-2. Or I mean, it was three, not 3-2. Sorry, I hated it was
2-0.
best of three.
Yeah,
It
best
was,
of three. Yeah. No,
yeah,
honestly, we were actually really heating up. I think it could have gone the distance if we kept on playing.
yes, because
But
definitely. I mean, to
honestly,
be
we should have had 5 matches in the Swiss bracket as well. That would have really made it a more accurate
yeah,
top 9.
the four was definitely underwhelming. But we went into it. To be fair, I don't know what Super was on. I don't know if you lit a fire under
He
that man's.
he he so I will say that I was fighting him on cargo and strongholds lattice, and I believe he pived me in on cargo to stop me from me getting A, and you guys kept
Yeah,
getting a trip gap. So yeah, no, he pived me. So
yeah, he was. I We love Super, but that wasn't normal. So I don't know if you lit a fire under his belt when he was like, finally it's happening, you know, like we're getting the matchup. Um, but he doesn't even, I can tell you right now, he doesn't even play the map that well. I don't know what happened. I need him to at least. I mean, maybe he'll do it against USF this week, and
Yeah.
we'll see what happens. But I did want a best of 5 out of us. But if we can get some scripts scheduled,
Yeah,
hopefully we
absolutely.
can get that
Make
rolling.
it
But
happen.
I'll throw it to you. Plug anything, your socials, shout out anybody. Go ahead, take a swing.
All I got is my stream, which is Milkshake FPS. You can my Twitter's the same, but I do want to take this moment to finally put this part to bed. You pronounce it the University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign. It is not Illini, it is Illini. It's not Illinois with a hard
Ah.
S, it's Illinois. The S is silent.
Oh,
Fair enough.
fair
That's all
enough.
I got.
And I'm gonna say this. They try to get me to say your guys' name all the time.
Saying Illinois works. This is the University of Illinois,
Okay,
essentially.
I'll take
There's
that.
University of Illinois Springfield, there's University of Illinois Chicago, but UIUC is the University of Illinois. It's the flagship,
Okay,
area.
I'm
So
gonna I'm gonna take that so Ben doesn't try to get me to fumble because I can't say a lot of words. I suck at English, but I'll let Ben close us out, and I promise you I'm
I-
not cutting you off.
I love one more question here just to end.
Oh, okay,
I
yeah,
did
yeah,
want to
yeah.
say we've gotten to meet the player Milkshake. I wanted to get one final question just to get an insight of who you are in the terms of like the student and where you're going to go after school, right? You said you're graduating, this is your final season. What is that goal for you? As you know, I've enjoyed kind of talking to players and getting to know what their goals are after, college. So any idea of where that is for you, or kind of just taking it step by step right
well,
now, or
I'm not graduating. I'm transferring to
oh, that's
Geese,
okay, yeah.
and then I'm going to be getting my bachelor's in accountancy. Um, the plan, which may not work, may work. After I get my bachelor's, I get my CPA license, and then I'm going to apply to work for the FBI. And if that does not work, then I can just be a CPA, a certified public accountant, the thing that I went to school for. So, and I think that's a pretty solid background, backup plan. Sorry, I meant
Yeah.
backup.
I like it
All right.
actually.
Well, yeah, that's actually pretty sick. Way better of a plan than I got because I'm still trying to figure. But Milkshake, that it was a pleasure to have you on. We appreciate you sticking with us. It is pretty late, so we really do appreciate you sticking with us this late. For all those that are watching, we appreciate you guys for all the support that you guys have been giving us. Remember that you guys can check us out here wherever you are listening to Apple Podcasts or Spotify every Friday. And then, of course, the very next day on Saturday, those live videos go up on YouTube. And then remember to check out our prediction show every night or every Monday night at 9 p.m. and then going live the next day, Tuesday, early in the morning. That's all I got to say. Banksy, you got anything to say before we close it out?
I think you hit everything. Links will be in description of the video posted on YouTube. Milkshake's Twitch will be in there and everything. Show some love and peace out, everybody.
Thank you for having me. Have a good night.